We must acknowledge we have a significant cybersecurity problem in the federal government, especially at OPM. This intrusion on OPM networks is only the latest of many against the agency, and OPM has become a case study in the consequences of inadequate action and neglect. There's a bullseye on the back of USA.gov, and it does not appear this administration is devoting enough attention to this reality.
The two kinds of data that I'm addressing, personnel records and background investigations, affected different systems in two separate but related incidents. Second, the number of individuals with data compromised from the personnel records incident is approximately 4.2 million. Third, as I have noted, we continue to analyze the background investigation as rapidly as possible to best understand what was compromised, and we are not at a point where we are able to provide a more definitive report on this issue.
So are you ready to state that since it's been in all public periodicals that it was China responsible for this hacking?
I think that would be a question.
That's a pretty simple answer. Are you ready to say that it was Chinese hacking or not?
I would have to defer to my
so the
colleagues
answer
at
is no.
State. I would defer to my colleagues at State to respond to that.
Mr. McFarland, your office has been warning OPM about the vulnerability of its data for years. How were these warnings received by the agency, and why were they apparently ignored until it was too late?
Well, I don't know why they were ignored, but they certainly.
But they were ignored.
But yes, they were ignored in my estimation.
It sounds like now there is a request for additional dollars. And what we want to ensure is that if the dollars are allocated, that it will actually be put towards this project and that we do see results and that it is managed wisely.
The funding is a prime example of our concern. It's all over the board.
We spend something like $80 billion per year on IT systems in the federal government. So this is a problem of management. It's a problem of prioritization.
I think we need to be fair. It's been 4 years since we had a deputy. And again, in the Navy, you got a commanding officer. You're the commanding officer. The deputy is the executive officer. And this important agency has been without an executive officer for 4 years.
They could have actually manipulated data in our federal government systems with regard to these background investigations. For example, to change the outcome of a clearance adjudication, remove derogatory information, maybe add derogatory information. Can you tell us anything about that possibility?
Sir, I can speak broadly. The adversary did have the type of access that could allow them to change information. I cannot speak to whether that, a change of information would allow them to do any of the things that you specifically suggested there. I will say,
is it possible?
It is possible to change information. The implications of that I can't speak to. I will say, and I don't want to speak for my intelligence community colleagues, but I'll repeat what they said in a prior session, which is, and law enforcement colleagues, which is they view that as unlikely.